matter of fact that you made it less? I mean, why is a group like Public Enemy today not that popular like in '89?
They were blessed for a period of time. I don't know what Chuck is doing. I don't know what happened to Griff. Griff is my man from back in the days, but Public Enemy, I think everybody's making mistakes. That's why I put out the music that I put out. I think everybody's making mistakes. There's all kind of mistakes. Because I look at myself. I'm constantly checking myself for mistakes. Constantly. What are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? Gloat in your right, but get rid of your wrong. So people only see me say, I am rap. They say, oh, Chris, you're so egotistical. Oh my God. I am. Period. It's not that you're not, but I've come to the awareness that I am. Now, when you come to the awareness, then you'll be too. But I've come to the awareness that I'm not doing rap. I am rap. No, anyone could be it once they come to the conclusion. But they're not it if they don't come to that awareness. They're not it if you're not aware that when people say, I don't like rap, they say, I don't like you. People say, I don't listen to rap. That means they don't listen to you. That's the point. But people say, I want to do rap. And then they do it. And then when they meet somebody like me who is rap, you can't battle. You can't get out of here, man. I have lyrics for a universe worth of lyrics and styles and places to go. You can't. The only one that can hang out with KRS One is someone who would battle me in the universe. They would have to have my reality of how music and art and all that's created and battle me from a universal point of view. These rappers, they come in competitions. New York is all about competition. They come with finite concepts. Finite, like I'm the best and you're not. Okay, that's one planet of rhymes. We could go like that for years. But then what about you're great and I'm not? What about me making a whole rhyme saying you all that? Let me tell you how you all that. You all that because you da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. In a battle, you would lose. Because the audience don't care who's the best, who says who's the best. They want to know who is the best. And that comes with sitting in front of a mirror when you wake up in the morning and you're going, I am the best. I am the ultimate aspect of this art form manifest as KRS One. Now, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you walk out the door. That's why my live shows, you put in, you get me, feel what you're doing.
Do you do a lot of live shows these days?
Oh yeah, and we're the only group working. The touring business collapsed. Ain't nobody out here working. Everybody getting little bits of money. KRS One is working. Mad Lion's working. Channel Live is working. Fat Joe is working. Fat Joe just opened a store. Fat clothing store. Y'all should go up there, by the way. It's a clothing store. It sells jeans. It's crazy. He got graffiti stuff that you can only buy in his store. Dope.
Where is the store?
149th and 3rd Avenue. In the Bronx. Fat. It's Fat Joe.
So what does hip-hop represent in 95?
Well, internally, yes, I forgot. Got me going. In 1995, hip-hop represents, first of all, wherever KRS One takes it. And I will take hip-hop to the highest aspect of social expression in the next 5 years. And I mean the highest aspect of social expression. We're already there, almost. With McDonald's and Burger King and all these people got to use rap to sell a product. But what happens when you have to use rap to win a political election? Or rap to motivate an army? Like, you have to use rap to motivate the National Guard. That's where I'm going. Hip-hop as a culture on the outside, is getting better and better and better. It's going through its first, or actually its second phase, I would say. I think hip hop goes in phases of 10-year phases. In 1976, we had tapes, outside parties, we was live. 76 to 86, we became commercialized. From 76 to 86, we became commercialized. We went into the commercial market and began to alter society. From 86 to 96, which is the second phase that we're in now, hip hop is taking on it's like what rock and roll was in the 70s in terms of social influence. What rock and roll was in the 70s, hip hop is going to be in the next I'd say 96 to 2006. Hip hop will be, it's hard to explain. It's sort of like, all right, I'll give you an example. There'll be courses in universities on hip hop. There'll be degrees given in hip hop. Because the university system has to constantly explain society. And it constantly needs philosophers to explain society and poets to explain society. And they take what the poets and the philosophers say, rationalize it, and teach it. So where hip hop is going now is soon the whole of society will be in hip hop. And the universities will be forced to give degrees on this culture. They'll call it something else probably, or maybe they'll call it hip hop. But a PhD degree in sociology is going to your main thing is going to have to be the knowledge of how rappers think to explain society. That's what's going to happen. That's where hip hop is going. Rap will double its price, of course. It will become, right now it's a $700 million or I think it's $700 billion industry, something like that. Whatever the number is, it'll double.
But is hip hop something that you can learn at university?
Yeah.
But I mean, normally most rappers say that hip hop is something that you have to experience.
Well, they're experiencing it. Everyone is experiencing hip hop, but the philosophers don't respect society's thinking. Hip hop is not a black thing. Hip hop is an energy of oppressed people thing. Every oppressed society, no matter what color you are, creates a hip hop. It's the expression against oppression. When somebody beats you in the head for so many years that after a while, when they just come around, you flinch. They don't even have to beat you no more. You just flinch. You wanting to get out of that flinching is hip hop. Your urge to want to not be afraid anymore is hip hop. Your urge to want to be heard and seen in a society that doesn't have your expression in it is hip hop. When another example, just very briefly, when you go to get your driver's license, for instance, and the government way, the system's way of getting your driver's license, 2 hands on the wheel, you drive, you use your mirrors, seat belts, like that. After you get your license, hip hop takes over. That's the point. After you get your license, you got it. Yeah, I'm in the system, but now I have to express this whole thing in a whole different fashion. So you have to express it the way society expresses it. So you get in your car, you slouch to the side, got no seatbelt. No one in society wears seatbelt. I mean, people do. The people who are more careful, I guess, or more concerned with their safety in a car wears a seatbelt. But the majority of society, people are not following none of the laws. We look to run lights. We want to cut people off. We don't obey them lines in the street. That's hip hop. If you did obey the lines, you'd crash and die. People know that. There was a survey done on some television show out here about traffic laws, and they said the traffic laws in New York alone is so outdated that if you follow them, you'd crash. Could you imagine if you followed the law to the letter? Somebody would hit you or you would hit somebody, because there is a way society is already moving. But Aristotelian logic, Aristotle's logic and Plato, and all these people's logic is to not explain reality for what it is. Their logic is to try to create their own reality. So that's why they say Aristotle created a universe. Newton created a universe. Einstein created a universe. But they are creating their universes. They're not living in the true universe that is actually happening. And in my opinion, universities in the future are going to get closer and closer to reality, because it's the natural progression. And when they really find out that the whole scope of social thinking in America is by way of hip-hop. The whole thinking. The white kids here do whatever the black kids do. All the rock and roll artists have hip-hop friends. It's not like the way it was when I first started, when Run DMC started. It was rock and hip-hop. That's nonsense. Pearl Jam hangs out with mad hip-hoppers. Anthrax and even Guns N' Roses hung out with Eazy-E. I mean, you know, it's not like that no more. So it's one culture and everybody's being influenced by it. The grunge culture, you know, that's hip hop. That's hip hop for the culture that can understand that. We do rap, which is hip hop for the culture that can understand that. Then you have dancehall, reggae, Buju Banton and Shaba and all these people. That's hip hop for the West Indian crew and Jamaica and African and Haitian and that whole crew that can understand that, American actually, that can understand that. That's why I say universities can teach it if they stop creating their own realities and pay attention to the real reality. You just do a closing. This is what quick closing we got.
How much did so
You have none left.
now we have enough, but it's
Okay.
only 30 minutes left.
Okay.
And is that what you're trying to teach when you do the lecture?
No, my lectures are hip hop is not what I'm. Wait a minute. At my lectures, I don't necessarily go into hip hop's version of sociology or society and hip hop. In my lectures at universities, I really dive into the way people think and how it will affect their lives. We talk more about cause and effect. What are the true causes to our social effects today? Such as the nature of true metaphysics, the study of natural sciences. You know, people label it all kind of things like the occult and witchcraft and all this kind of thing, but it's really science of mind. And that's what we get into in the universities. We talk about, like, for instance, I'll give you a small something I would say at one of my lectures. I would say something like this. When you come into the school system, the educational system, you're given the answer to all your questions. 2 or 3 months later, the teacher tests you on if you can remember the answer or not. Like, in other words, she gives you Christopher Columbus discovered America. Even if you know Christopher Columbus was drunk and lost and the Indians discovered him, even if you know the truth about Christopher Columbus discovering America, it doesn't matter. If you want to pass that class, you must regurgitate exactly what the teacher told you to write down. There's no debate, there's no thinking process. So the educational system is defined as a system of memorization and training, not intelligence and creativity. So when you raise a society on memorized reality, And understand that word, memorized reality, which means your reality is based on whatever you remembered or whatever you were taught to remember. And if a new situation comes to you, you're afraid or you fight it. You can't intellectualize it and rationalize it because it wasn't a part of your memory bank. So everyone then starts to grow up. And when we grow up, we all become a society of people that are using memory and training, which then in our adult age becomes belief. We use memory, training, which manifests as belief, to define reality. If we don't believe it, it's not real. If we do believe it, it's real, even if it's a lie. That's how strong belief is over logic and intelligence. We believe. How do you know that the sky is that color and someone did not inject something into the sky to make it that color? We believe that that's the way the sky always looked, so it gotta be like that. We're not gonna rationalize and say, I've never been there. I've never been in the universe. I've never been to the universe. So how am I really sure that all these graphic pictures I have in my head of the universe is for real? I've never been there. I'm going by what my memorized idea of reality was. And according to history, we once believed the world was flat. So my whole point is that in the lectures, from a philosophical point of view, reality is based on beliefs and tradition. So when we question the traditions and the beliefs, we begin to question reality. Philosophers today question the belief and don't question the tradition and, philosophers question the, the reality of wherever we at right now. Like they say, you're wearing red, but they don't question how you arrived at that conclusion. They think they are, but they're not really arriving at that. They're not questioning your belief system, your traditionalism. What's your idea of God? What's your idea of a mother, a father, of yourself, of your government, of your country, of your name, all of this makes you who you are, and that's really my point. I can sit here and run my mouth forever.
So as we're running out of
Where the light is going into it.
This is dope. Imaging, so I just don't like the big one here. Like posters, like it reminds me of a poster.
The other one with him, this one right here is
That's dope. Like the album cover be a picture that you gotta look close to see this. It's like right there.
Well, can I show you one other thing? Can I shoot one more of these?
Yeah.
Show you?
No.
Thank you very much.
No. These are the two I'm really concentrating on. These, you see, really that.
I mean, that can be recreated anyways.
But
you can do this in color too. And if you don't get it, I'll get you a copy. That's really cool.
No, I have to. I have a thing about going and buying something that I'm a part of. I just like. It's just a vibe.
I have a baby. I have to buy her Pampers, so please.
Word. I'll be out there.
Go ahead.
No, that's good, man. Thanks a lot. We just had drinks early in the day. Keep it real.